Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys, PD and Cal. Say what's up, gents.
What's going on?
Ready to rock.
Hey, today we're talking about this fantastic news that Todd McFarlane is going to start making toys for Marvel. And here, PD has brought us a fantastic visual of the Amazing Spider-Man. What is your thought? Do you think he's going to be able to pull it off? What I'm seeing here, it looks like he's going to go ape on all this stuff. PD.
Well, it's we're gonna listen to him in a little while. It's an interview on comicbook.com. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, it looks like the thing of it is of being a fan of Todd McFarlane's work, but not in an action figure and seeing it in Spider-Man in action figure form. This allows you to get that scene from the Spider-Man 301, Amazing Spider-Man 301, getting that scene of Spider-Man in the spider pose that Todd put him in, that classic pose. But then at the same time, the way Todd has worked it is it seems like he's taking it and we're looking at it from straight on. So I'm pretty sure it works from the other angle from the side, but it's really cool. But it's taking not only that, I think he's going to be taking there's a Captain America image that Todd think we'll see, and then there's I think Jim Lee, Wolverine, and I think possibly some Rob Liefeld stuff that they're going to translate. But I think this is, especially for the other thing is that, there's a lot of adults coming into Target and snatching these up. I'm not sure these are going to go to the Target markets, but, having a lot of statues, this is one step below the statue and put in with your adults who can't really play with their statues and their figures. They just put them on the shelf and and move on. So this kind of works perfectly for that, in my opinion.
I mean, this pose, I mean, I never thought they would be able to capture something like this in that toy, but it is, wow, amazing. The way
Mm-hmm.
they make it look as though he's actually using his webbing, and you know the detail, this three-dimensional look is fantastic. Cal, what's your take on this?
Well, if you like Todd McFarlane's art, and I'm going to have to say this is circa the 1990s because he doesn't draw as much as he used to. If you like his art, then I have to say what he's done with the action figures is much, much better.
Wow,
I really dig the action figure stuff. I mean, as somebody who definitely got people's mouth agape with the stuff that he was doing on Spider-Man, the toys much better. If you look at the first series of Spawn toys, as opposed to what he's doing now, the sculpting, the articulation, the paint, everything just beautiful. C'est magnifique. So when I see something like this, I'm like, yeah, I have nothing but got nothing but total faith in him to knock this out. A lot of guys may give him some. The biggest criticism down here is from Superman collectors that every time he does a Superman figure, like he's got some scowl on his face, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair, but you can't deny the rest of the figure. It's just really good. Now, the I was going to go and say, hey, this right here, we've seen this pose already. Maybe you would want to start with something else, but with the exception of Action Comics 1, I believe Amazing Spider-Man 300, 301, that cover pose is probably the most homaged cover from a comic after Action Comics 1. There's no close second to Action Comics 1, but this is probably the second one. So, as somebody who really liked what he did with his Action Comics 1 statue, really good stuff. This right over here is a nice companion piece to that if you're going to do the cover homages. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's not even something I would normally put money into if it's not a Superman thing, but this right here is something that I'm probably going to want. So looking forward to putting down money for it.
yeah. I mean, overall, I gotta say we're all giving this a huge thumbs up. I mean, it is the detail. Look at the way his leg sticks out. I mean, and it matches the comic. It's like, wow. I mean, we're talking about the detail, the character, even the webbing, the way it's the way it gathers around and it moves almost like another character in and of itself. There, fantastic all around. I didn't think this could ever be seen like in this particular format, but clearly I'm dealing more with something with Todd McFarlane. That's why he's been killing the toy market, right?
Well, no, he even gave you he gives you the diorama, but he even goes so far as to give you the circle.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
You
Man.
know,
Yeah, no,
you
that's the
know,
part
he,
about
He didn't really have to do that because the whole idea of the cover is for us to be, we're supposed to realize that this is Spider-Man like swinging through he's swinging out of the cover, if you will. So that's not supposed to be happening. But then to give you that extra added bit of realism with like, yeah, I'm even going to give you the circle. Yeah, it's really, it's really cool. And, I mean, because, Spider-Man is this great character for the poses to show this like really off the wall flexibility does he have. And then you really get a better idea of it when you have it three-dimensional, and then you have that circle to really give it scope as to just how nimble and how agile he is when he's moving. So I mean, there's always somebody out there there's always someone who's going to probably be able to be a bit more critical. But hey, if you've been following, oh man, what happened? Well, Petey, do you remember that? What was that figure he did? That Azrael figure? Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah. The Azrael from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
back.
Wasn't that great?
That,
That was,
that was so crazy because I hated Azrael. No
yeah.
disrespect
But
design, but then I
you
was like,
hate,
I might need to buy this.
yeah. That's what Todd McFarlane can do. To the point like you hated Azrael, but you still need that figure.
Like he's so rotten to do that. Because the other thing is going to what you're saying is that he's basically going around and saying, "What do I want to do?" So, and DC has let him do that to be like, "Hey, you got any characters? I want to look at your characters and say, I want to do some superpower stuff. I want to do some Mego Batman stuff. I want to do." I got a Blue Beetle that he did. It's just like, hey, these characters you never thought you'd get that you'd
Oh
get.
yeah, he did Batman 66,
Hmm.
and then did all the characters, like all the characters. He did all the characters that you would have gotten, and then decided, hey, I'll even do some of the Justice League characters. I'll do some Justice League characters as well. So you get Superman, uh, Green Arrow, Black Canary. Stuff that an action figure collector is definitely going to be looking for. So I mean, he just seems to be like he's in his element with this. And then if were reading any of the stuff that Todd McFarlane was saying around the time while he was still with Marvel before he left, this was something these guys wanted to branch out in, more so cards, but they wanted to do toys. They wanted to do cards, they wanted to do toys, they wanted to do cartoons, they wanted to fully manipulate the characters that they had. They wanted to be Marvel. They didn't just want to do the comics because they realized, hey, the real money's in the T-shirts and the licensing, all of that type of stuff. And not so much the T-shirts and stuff, but with the toys, yes. Once he got a foothold in toys with Spawn, he never looked back. And then it's always been recognized. If you look at the stuff that he did for The Matrix, Alien, Predator, did these horror series that he did, Leatherface, Chainsaw Massacre, whether it was, an action statue or an action figure, just a lot of care and quality put into what was happening. So, hey,
Well,
it's very hard for me to be critical because I really enjoy the stuff that he's been doing.
well,
Yeah,
listening to what you're saying, let's listen to him. He's gonna paint, no disrespect, but he's gonna paint himself as the little sculptor that could. When you listen to this interview of his,
Deadpool and Joker 2 may be the number one and number two grossing movies of Hollywood this year. I know Hollywood's just going to shift, and they're going to go, man, I wonder what R-rated comic book property is available that has some meaning.
Today, Comic Book is exclusively announcing that McFarlane Toys and Marvel are teaming up to collaborate on an all-new line of posed Marvel figures that will bring Todd McFarlane's iconic Marvel artwork to life. And we got a chance to ask Todd about reteaming with Marvel. What made you want to partner with Marvel after all these years?
As a toy maker, every show I went to, I saw that everybody else had 3 licenses that I was like, man, how come I can't get my hands on them, right? Star Wars, Marvel, DC, right? For years, for decades, I felt like I was the orphan at the toy fair. And I always said, I can sell this stuff. I need somebody to give me a license, but I'm not going to be able to compete against the big giants that, give, big contracts to these companies. I get it. So, conversations continue, and then in 2020 we sort of get the contract for DC Multiverse, and so there's like one X I've checked off, right? But that's still left to me too, Marvel and Star Wars. And although, again, I've been having conversations sort of kiddingly off and on with Marvel, and I sort of mentioned it to him, like, I know you got to figure out how to create a sliver, but I'll tell you how to create a sliver. This is easy. How about if you do nothing? The sliver is nothing but McFarlane toys or McFarlane artwork, and that the McFarlane artwork is signed by McFarlane. And I can guarantee you nobody will repeat that because I'm McFarlane, right? So I can actually we can make this little niche corner. And I kept saying it sort of as a joke. And to some extent, when we did the Avatar toys, that's under the big giant umbrella of Disney, right? You get in the family. And so the conversations and the jokes about, me doing my own artwork started to become a little more palatable, I think, once they sort of saw that they could trust me, like what I had done with, some of their early Disney product, and then with Avatar. So they was like, hey, Todd, maybe we should have that conversation again. We just, again, have to figure out a carve out, is what they called it. And it ended up being even sort of better than I thought, because now it's not just, I'm just not limited to my artwork, as long as it's comic book related and it's not articulated, right? Because again, they've got the big license with Hasbro, and I understand that. I sort of could go into the vault all the way back to the beginning of FF #1. So I was like, wow, that's cool. So now I can do like cool covers, cool artists, cool characters, cool images, like any and all the above, and take a poke at it and basically turn into, 3D what most of us had normally only had sort of seen as a 2D image. And in some cases, some of it would be my own work. And again, why not? Why not let the guy who drew something actually be the guy who does the 3D version of it? Because I've been in the 3D world making toys for 30 years. So it's not like, it wasn't a long shot, although I can do that character too, to let me basically take a stab at this. So here we are. And so all of a sudden, McFarlane and Marvel, right, on the toy front, finally, right? So we get to dabble in it. So it'll be interesting to see what the reaction is.
So there we go. That's how it happened.
Choo choo.
And that's what you were asking the question about the license and how they did it before we got to this, Mars, about how they could do having both in hand, having the license already out, and seeing how he's strictly posable figure, a non-posable figure, so it doesn't interrupt. But what do you feel about that, having a competitor holding that license? Hold on, I can't hear you. Are you Paul? Are you muted? You're muted.
I said if I was Hasbro, I'd be suing. Okay, because I license everything, not just part of something. I don't know who the licensor is or licensee, but I'm saying, Marvel clearly made a distinct legal decision, like he's only going to do his stuff. But is the Captain America pose? Is that also his too?
Yeah, it was what was it, like 320 something, 325?
I think the comic comes with it too, right?
Huh?
I believe the comic comes with it too.
That'd be cool too.
So it's wild though. That he was able to do that, and I give him mad credit because I never thought I would see him in the Marvel one. Hell, when he did DC, I was kind of shocked too.
Well, I would only say I know the little sculptor that could thing is like when you got all the stuff Cal said you do an Avatar. Like, yo, you're big time. He's been big time since he started doing, like when he did a Sin City Marv one, which I used to have, which is lost in the history of the spinner rack. I lost the Marv action, the first Marv action figure. From there, I knew he was about his stuff, but I forgot that he did Matrix and Alien. So it's like you've been doing he's been doing this thing for a long time. So
Go back to the sports players too. So
yeah, that was a thing where he was fighting to get into. So I definitely give him his portion of being the little guy trying to get to the sport. He'd always been trying to do the sports thing. So the fact that they finally gave him that, and him doing DC, they already know that. I mean, I would think in my mind when you get into the Marvel office, it's like, here's some free paper. If you wanted to draw some Spider-Mans, or if you want to give us any prelims that we can put into a book, we'll put it into a special edition. You just want to try to draw. We got a team up. We have a Spider-Man and X-Men if you want to do. So I always think someone's trying to hit them over the head to kind of draw something, and they probably wouldn't get that. But it'd just be funny to see someone like CB Sapolsky coming in with some pages and being like, hey, I'm just going to leave these pages here, Todd. See if you want to draw something. But, yeah, no, when I saw this, I was very much interested in thinking about how I'm going to budget to maybe get one. I had to see the other ones. I'm praying the Jim Lee one looks awkward, so I don't have to buy it. But then hearing him talk about doing the older stuff, then I'm like, oh, no, I'm in trouble. Who knows what he can pick out? Who knows?
I mean, probably he'll do. What's the one with when Spider-Man's in the black costume? Not when he became Venom, but it wasn't Venom yet. But he's one hand is down, he has webbing around him.
Mm-hmm.
What cover is it?
That's it's Spider-Man. Is it? I don't even know the number.
You're not talking about the first Venom, or the one
You're
with.
talking about Amazing Spider-Man 300?
Is it 300? No, like she has this it's like he's like posing. He's like bent down on the ground.
The one where the black things are coming at Spider-Man.
All the webbing all over him.
Yeah, okay, I know, because that's like.
Oh, 317.
That's definitely that would be if he could do that, like we're in trouble if he starts doing that stuff to be.
Whoever has a license is going to be like, yo, wait, hold on a second. How did this legalese thing needs to go away?
Well, I don't have Spider-Man when I was small was one of my favorite characters, and I don't have one because it always feels a lot of them feel like they're wrong, but I finally have one that looks like. I mean, no, there's one that they have a Ditko one that's out that I was thinking about getting, but that was the Todd McFarlane one that's out there. That's when I was buying, and I was very energized reading Spider-Man again. So it's definitely something I would want to get. I'm just scared to see how far it's going to go, like he did with the DC stuff, or just like, oh come on, there's another one.
Actually, no. Spider-Man #1. Let me shoot you in the chat here so you can see the image I'm talking about. The last one. Take a look at that. That's the one I'm talking about. You guys got it?
Yeah. Which one? I mean, you sent me
the last one.
What do you mean the last one?
It says 9.6 BCS.
You talking about the Venom picture where he looks like he's home? Oh, you talking about the one with the G.I. Joe one? Oh, you talking about the classic?
Webbing's all around him.
Okay, that's what you're talking. You're talking about Spider-Man,
the
number one, yeah.
Now that one would be hard as hell to do.
No, that's easy. That's easy compared to Spider-Man 317.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. That would be really nice to have. Oh man.
Hey, I love the story because he nailed it. Where he was doing the toys, but the big guys were like, "Oh hell no, we're not letting you get in here." But it also shows that over the years he's had a better relationship with DC Comics than he has with Marvel. I hear the rumors that because if Marvel asked Todd to come back and do some Spider-Man, I don't think it's as simple as him saying, "No, I'm not. I don't want to work with you guys." But I'm pretty certain he's like, "Well, if I'm going to do this, I want to do toys. I want to do, a whole bunch of other stuff that goes along with this because I don't want to do this stuff and then I do some covers and now you guys are going to print up a whole bunch of T-shirts and I don't get any money. So, I'm not looking to do that type of stuff at the end of the day. But his relationship with DC, I mean, it's obviously been better. You look at the toys that he's doing over there. I mean, he did, what was that? I'm trying to remember what was the Batman issue he did. I think it's like Batman 314? Might be like Batman 323. That cover he does with Batman hugging the girl, and Batman's got like the really, the zigzaggy cape. He's done that a couple of times. He's done that, digitally, because they're selling these, what are these non-fungible tokens, if you will? They're selling that type of stuff. So they sell the digital ones. Things sell out. I don't know why. I have never heard of anybody buying a digital statue, but the things sell out. So and then you already know if he's doing this one, which is Amazing Spider-Man 301, this is going to sell out. And what's the next one that's going to come right after it? 300. They're going to do the same thing. It's just going to be in all black. So, he's in a really, I think he's in a really good place. And Marvel, of course, loves to always put up the periscope and say, hey, what's DC doing that's selling? Oh, that looks good. Yeah. Let's see if we can do that too. What do you mean we got a contract? Ah, man. No, we'll do it the Marvel way. We'll do it the Marvel way. Let's try to find a way out of this. Get some of that money. Can't let DC have all of it. Yeah. But, you look at the whole, if you're a collector, then yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I can already imagine the stuff. I love what he said, too. He's like, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we do Todd McFarlane stuff signed by Todd McFarlane by Todd McFarlane. Hey, how can you beat that? Nobody else can do that but me. And he's right. Where somebody else could only sign it, okay, he can do the production. This is the artwork that he did. And if he wants to, he can put some sort of signature on it. So it's really good stuff. I mean, hey, it's good. It's really good stuff. If you're a collector, you should be really happy about the news.
Well, with that said, I mean, this was the interior of one of the year 2 shots that he did. This is one of the things that you got the regular cape, but then you got this funky cape here, and I'm like, it's just something that you think in the back of your mind, I'm probably gonna have to get. But I think he has another one that's a diorama of one of the things he did in year 2, which is real nutty, which is nice too. So it's like I'm always interested in looking to see what he's doing on the toy side. I think I was out of it for a while until he went to DC, and I was just like, he's cornering the market. He's cornering the market with this DC stuff. So, all right, I guess we should close this one out.
Hey, so if you like his stuff, all I gotta say after what you've seen, we suggest you go out and get it as soon as it comes out because it's gonna go. It's going to go. Interact.
Out.